the Naval Academy taught me how not to lead, right? Taught me how not to be. I was shocked at the Naval Academy when they were trying to yell at you to motivate you, or yell at you, or talk down to you, or make you come clean their room, or bring them their clothes, or...
All right, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to Green Beret Chronicles. Today I have Jake here. All right, we've been shooting for a while now, and we're going to do a couple of small segments. The first one being leadership, Jake. When it comes to leadership, because I know you are an officer in the SEAL teams, what's your leadership philosophy?
So, first you got to care for your people. Okay, that's the number one thing. My number two is no BS. So, I'm not ever going to lie to you. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care what it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. And then three, I'm going to massively grow leadership underneath me. So, like, I'm not measured by how well I lead. I'm measured by how well my team leads itself. Be that if I got to grow somebody, putting somebody in charge. I just was running a $145 million company, and I had a she's 23, but she started off at 21-year-old fire-breathing dragon, Alexis Thomas. She ran my whole company, man. And I grew her. It took me probably 2,000 hours. So my deal is like, care for your people. People always first. Just make sure you don't tell no lying, man. No shenanigans, no BS. Always look out for that. Goes with always looking out for your people, caring for them, and then grow leadership. And I tell everybody, like, I don't see color, I don't see nothing. I just see capable and incapable people, and I'm always gonna focus on capable people and making them better, growing them in leadership. In my company, it was kind of interesting. We always do what's best for the employee, right? Might not be best for the company, but we're gonna do what's best for the employee. That's kind of backwards. But what happens is, so we got one of my guys, our best driver, was really smart. I tried to get him to go Army Warrant Officer flying program. He didn't want to do that. So he ended up coming to me and said, hey, I want to learn a trade, man. So I called my plumber dude, and we gave him a week of pay to go to work with the plumber. And so then my plumber dude called me and was like, yo, Jake, like, he's really good. I said, I know, man. Like, do you want to hire him? And he's like, all right, let me figure it out. So the plumber ended up hiring him. Nice. But that went around the whole team, and the whole team was like, man, everybody started raising their hand, I want to do this. And I said, well, you better perform better. So it raised the whole level of the team. 140 people started performing better because they saw that, like, hey, man, I helped this dude get a $26 an hour job, And we did that multiple times for multiple guys. But when people know that you're going to look out for their best interest and help them, then they're going to sell their soul for you to do what they're doing currently to help you win. And I tell everybody, the Naval Academy taught me how not to lead, right? Taught me how not to be. I was shocked at the Naval Academy when they were trying to yell at you to motivate you, or yell at you, or talk down to you, or make you come clean their room, or bring them their clothes, or whatever it was. I was like, man, do you not understand, like, it's servitude. Like, if you're a leader, I'm serving the people I'm leading. It's not them serving me. And so there was a lot of stuff at the Naval Academy that I learned the exact opposite. And then I took it to the fleet, and I got to the fleet, and I was yelling a little bit too much. And I went and got leadership guidance. Jay, like you E8 in the Army, like, like, hey, man, you got a young officer under you, he yelling and stuff. And it wasn't working. I knew that, but I'm always secure with who I am. So I went to the chief's mess. I said, hey, man, help me out. And the chief that I talked about when we were talking, he said, listen, man, he's like, you got to find a leader in your group and let them lead. And so I ended up I fired my E7 and I fired my E6. And I gave an E5 in charge. And the rest was history, man. And so after that, like, I'm always looking for the next leader that I can grow into what I need them to be to run the organization that I'm running. Be that, on a ship, in a SEAL platoon, in business, in football. In football, I tell everybody, like I'm waiting my turn. I got a crazy call, be a head coach, right? And I may go back to coaching. But my first thing was like, all right, who are the leaders I need to bring with me to be successful in that environment? So I tell everybody, like, leadership is easy until you're in the position, and then it becomes really hard because you have to make hard decisions. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people can't handle that weight of making the right decision they can't fight their interpersonal demons to make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? Not lying, trying to bend the truth or manipulate the truth. And I got a saying, man, if you got to eat a shit sandwich, there ain't nothing you can tell me to make me believe that it ain't a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, just say, hey, Jake, I need you to eat this shit sandwich. It fucking is what it is. Get that shit done so we can keep it moving.
Yeah. That's a pretty good philosophy to have. Now, you had the pleasure of going to the Naval Academy. What would you tell some of these younger guys that don't have any leadership capabilities or don't know they have any, right? Your E4s that are getting ready to go to selection, that's going to have to go through a team week where they are leading, E6s and E7s and lieutenants and captains, so on and so forth. Like, how would you encourage them to develop their leadership?
So I would tell you there's a couple things, man. I think as a leader, you got to be out in front, right? I tell everybody, very successful people read books. Covey's 7 Effective Habits of Leadership, right? The best book out there, in my opinion, is never Negotiating a Yes, whatever the FBI negotiation book. Mm-hmm. I got the title wrong. That's a good one, right? Like, learn how to negotiate with people, learn how to talk to people, right? Understand that there's give and take. You can take, but you got to give. I think for an E4 to be in a leadership situation, like I told you, on my ship, my CO put me in charge of 2 guys that were senior to me by like 4 or 5 years. You got to be humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go to the E6. I'm the O2. I'm not going to the senior 03, and I'm not demanding he do anything even though I'm in charge. Mm-hmm. We got a saying in the teams, and this is one that I love, man. Never give an order, ask for a favor. Hey, Jay, can you do me a favor, man? Can you run down to the air ops and make sure the parachutes are ready? Hey, Jay, can you do me a favor, man? I need somebody to drive up to Picket and pick up these packages up there. We both know it's an order, but how I word it and how I put it is better. So I'll tell all the young leaders, there's 2 things you got to do. You got to find a mentor. The mentor got to pour into you, okay? That can be the E8. That can be the E6. That can be the dude, whoever you like as a leader. Hey, man, help me out, man. Because sometimes you're going to say something, it's going to be fucked up. Like, I'm the king of saying fucked up shit, right? And Alexis come to me, Jake, man, that shit didn't sound good, man. That ain't great. Okay, I'll fix it, right? I go back, hey, man, listen, I apologize. That ain't what I really wanted to come across, right? I communicate in a 2nd grade reading level, right? Like, so sometimes my stuff come across a little harsh, but you need some people that ain't afraid. And one of the things in leadership that I didn't cover earlier, you have to be okay with people telling you, no, that's not right. You cannot quiet the voices in the room. It's not your way. So I got a leadership axiom called the 50-25 rule. If my idea ain't at least 50% better than your idea, or your idea has a 25% chance of causing critical failure, we're going to do whatever you want to do. And I think that's hard for a lot of leaders because they think leadership means my way. Mm-hmm. But I say leadership don't mean my way. Leadership means winning. Yeah. And so I'm going to try to win with your ideas because you're going to give a lot more. When I take your idea every time, you're going to pour in everything you got to your idea.
Yeah, you're invested.
Yeah.
But, all right, folks, that was leadership. Again, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, guys, and we'll get to it.